What's going on, guys? Uh, I got to do some. I got to give some shout outs, no doubt. Uh, I'm going to start off with Captain McDonald, Boardman Township Police Department. Got to give him a shout out. And whoever was involved with talking to the Parks Department for me, the whole police department, I guess. I don't know who was involved, but I do know it started with at least Captain McDonald after I talked to him the last time. Uh, that's pretty good for me, folks, because usually if the cops are involved, they're usually pissed off at me because I'm trying to catch him doing something that they're not supposed to be doing. That's the way it used to be, but it's not that way anymore. I'm done with that. That part of my life's over. It's time for me to move on with with what's left of my life. So everything that's happened since I got this metal detector and last Christmas and started doing that, the cops have been called on me at least three, maybe four times. I'm not doing anything wrong. People just not wanting me digging up the past, I guess. But I when I talked to the captain, uh, I asked him because one time he told me after the trial and everything was over, and I had a couple other people in the police department say the same thing to me that they don't agree with me on everything, but they agree with me on a lot of things. Now they're not going to say which things, but well, and that's people. That's all I ask. There is nobody going to agree with me 100% across the board on everything. My wife doesn't even do that. My kids don't do it. My family don't do that. So I don't ask anybody else for any more than that. Just hear me out what I'm saying, and then if you can prove me that what I'm thinking or saying is wrong, then tell me. Hell, I'm willing to listen. Anything that's got logic and critical thinking behind it, I'll listen to it. Uh, but I asked Captain McDonald if he'd do me a favor and talk to the Parks Department because the Parks Department owns a lot of this or controls a lot of this land that I've been working, and see if he could just get my permission back to be on Parks land doing that. And he kind of asked me, "What do you want me to tell him?" And I said, "Just tell him the truth. Tell him whatever you guys, because I know you was called on me 3 or 4 times. Whatever all the police department, there had to be at least three police reports made, 3 or 4, however many of them happen. Uh, Look over those, see what the reports say that the officers that investigated it said, and then tell the guy that runs the Parks Department, Dan, tell him the truth about what you guys found in your investigation. And if I was doing anything wrong on anybody's property or what." And he said, "All right, I can do that." And time passed by and I hadn't really been thinking about it. And then, boom, I'm talking to Dan, head of the Parks Department. He said he'd been meaning to call me, he'd been busy, but he was going to call me and tell me that he found out, that I did nothing wrong. Nothing over there that happened with the police that were involved. It had to do with me, but I wasn't doing anything wrong, and that he gave me full or permission to go back on the park's land and do the metal detecting. Well, I finished doing what I was doing before or whatever, and so I appreciated it and thanked him for it. And but the grass on those areas is so high, it's waist high now. You can't swing no damn metal detector on that ground right now. But they said they're gonna get it cut as soon as they can. But guys, when I moved into this town, these cops didn't know what to think of me. The vehicles I was driving, they couldn't figure out who I was. They knew more about my channel than they knew about me. And when I come into this town, my channel was going about the best it ever went. I was going live. I was doing all kinds of shit. I had all kinds of videos of cops and deputies and shit on doing bullshit stuff. Even sheriffs. And these people didn't know what to do with me. And until they arrested me, and they got my social security number, that was when they found out everything they wanted to know. And it wasn't what they was expecting. They was expecting a big, long criminal background, probably threatening cops and armed shit. And, I'm sure, I don't know what they were expecting. But they know that shit ain't true now. And when they got that 300 plus page background check back, there wasn't nothing on it other than all the places I've been involved with courts and stuff, but nothing like what they thought was going to be on there. I even had a clean driving record, folks. Clean. Because that's what I did for a living. I was driving a truck. Semi. Before they took that away from me. But not all cops are bad. There are good cops. It's the ones that are in the high places that are the bad ones that will push the other ones to do bad things as well. And then they'll get accommodated and shit and maybe moved up in rank and shit if they're doing it where it's making the city money or something. But if you get good guys in that top, in the, what they call it, not the supervision, in the upper management, if you got good guys up there that are following what they're supposed to be doing, the ones at the bottom, the many, will follow in that same manner. If they know, hey, my lieutenant, my captains, my damn deputy police chief, they're not gonna put up with this shit. I ain't doing this shit. No way. That's the way it would be. And that's the way it should be. Then qualified immunity needs to go as well. If all the officers had to pay for their own liability insurance in case they violate somebody's rights instead of being covered under qualified immunity, they wouldn't do half the stuff they do and try and get away with it. Because after you use that liability insurance a few times, they'll drop your ass and then you can't be a cop anymore. That's the way it should be. I mean, a doctor has to have, medical malpractice insurance in case he screws up. Well, a cop should have to as well. But you guys, shout out to Captain McDonald, shout out to the Boardman Township Police Department. Things are getting better. God loves you. So do I. Till the next one.